So for the most part, I think just about everyone out there has a dream vehicle. You know, girls love Jeep Wranglers, guys love sports cars, and kids just love trucks, okay? For some reason, we all just have this mystical vehicle in our brain, but when we become adults, for the first time ever, there are options so we can actually buy these things, okay? For example, you can pay cash for it, basically just buy it. You can finance it, you can lease it. There are multiple ways to go about actually being able to get the car you actually want. But this video is not just about getting the car you actually want and being able to drive it. It's more about, hey, how can you actually afford the car you actually want? And what I mean by afford is afford it to a level where it's not overbearing on you. I know people that they wanted a car so bad and they got it, and then when they got it, they were like, I can't keep up with these payments, man. It's too much. And then next thing you know, they basically sell it to somebody else, and now they're out of a lot of money and they don't even have the car anymore. That's what I'm trying to avoid with this video. Now, do me a favor, guys, and actually smash the like button. I appreciate it a lot, and it helps a lot with the algorithm. But now, let's get right into the video. Now, some generic budgets out there are going to tell you one thing, and some very popular YouTubers out there are also going to tell you another thing, okay? For example, if you go to Dave Ramsey's channel, he's going to tell you, well, you want to pay cash for a car, and you don't want to spend more than half of your annual income when it comes to a car, right? So if you have a car in mind, start doing that math. One, you need to have that money in cash, and two, it can't be more than half your annual income. Now, if you go to some generic blog website out there, it might tell you, for example, just don't spend more than 20% of your money per month on car payments, and then that way you're going to be fine. However, here's the problem with both of these ideas, okay? So right now, guys, I'm gonna show you guys what right now for me is like a dream car, is like a dream vehicle for me. And right here it is, okay? It's actually a 2022 Toyota Tacoma, TRD Pro. I'm fine if it's not like a 2022, it can be a 2019, I really don't mind. But this vehicle right here is like my dream vehicle right now. And guess what? It is $46,474. Now I'm guessing, okay? If I walk into the dealership with this whole Dave Ramsey mindset, I could probably get away with saying, hey, I'm gonna pay you $40,000, maybe $42,000, maybe $45,000 in cash, okay? So now, one, I need to have a ton of cash, like $45,000 in cash, and on top of that, I need to have a ton of income, right? Because $90,000 is going to be half $45,000, so I need to have at least an income of $90,000. That is a lot. Plus, $45K in savings is also a lot. So for most people out there, this is probably not going to work out. You probably can't afford your dream car. However, if you use, for example, a generic budget out there, they might just tell you, again, just 20% of your income. Now, I only make, let's say, $60,000 a year. My income is $5,000 a month, basically. Now, what is that, okay? If I grab 20% of that, that's going to be $1,000. So I'm actually able, if I put down $5,000, I'm able to actually afford this vehicle, around $877 every single month. I'm able to afford that, right? Isn't that awesome? Well, here's the truth, okay? Here's the problem. The problem is, yes, you get to walk out of the dealership with the car you want. You get to drive it. But now guess what you have? You have an $800 car payment every single month. And over 5 years, if you had grabbed that money and invested it, for example, into the S&P 500 like I do, well, you would have about $70,000 in your pocket. I mean, isn't that a lot better than having a fancy car? And by the way, that same car that cost $45,000 is now worth somewhere around like $27,500, like around half of what it's actually worth now, because that's how depreciation actually works. Trucks might have, for example, lower depreciation, but I'm saying this math because most people out there, their dream car is not a truck. It's probably like a regular truck, and regular cars, I mean, they're going to have regular depreciation. Depreciation is the value of the car going down. Now you might say, Tommy, well, what if instead of doing that, I just basically lease the vehicle, right? Wouldn't that be better? Well, no, it wouldn't be better, because after that 2-year lease or 3-year lease, whatever the time is, you walk away with no car, with no money, because you basically just rented the car. That's what that basically is, okay? And you get to upgrade to another one, but again, you're doing the same thing. You're always spending more money and you don't really own anything. So if the Dave Ramsey method is out of the way, then what exactly can I do? And if the generic method is out of the way, well, what exactly should I do, right? I don't have $90K in income, I don't have $45,000 in cash, and I don't want to spend $1,000 a month on a car and then end up losing $70,000 across 5 years if I had just invested that money. So what are my options here? Well, here's my advice and my idea. This is not an anime. This is not a movie, okay? Your life is not about achieving this one goal and then finally getting it, and then boom, we roll the credits, the story is over, you live happily ever after. Your goal in life should not be to have a car that you actually want and always dreamt about. You know, we're not kids anymore, right? So you have to be willing to make sacrifices. Yes, I want this $45,000 truck, but no, I can't afford it. So guess what? I am not going to buy it. Why? Why don't you get it, okay? You can walk out of it. The dealer, they're going to give you a loan. Yeah, but I still can't afford it. Just because I'm able to walk out with what I want and a bunch of payments doesn't mean I can afford it. The goal is to own it, all right? So what are my options here? Well, let's say I have about like $10,000, right? And what are my options? Like, what can I actually do with $10,000? Well, there are always options. The problem is, more than often, we don't like it. So again, for me, I want this truck. I can't afford it. But here we have a 2010 Toyota Tacoma, double cabin, all right? And this truck is selling for about $12,950. This truck just got a brand new engine and it has over 205,000 miles. But guess what? If I buy this truck for cash, I'm able to spend $800 on my investments every single month because I don't have to worry about a car payment. But tell me, what if you don't have $13,000, right? Well, the answer is, well, look into something else, right? Here's another truck. Again, this one is also about $13,000. Remember, guys, okay? These are people on Facebook, and these people are selling this stuff. So there's always room to actually negotiate. I always say that, always room to negotiate. So most likely I could probably get this for like $12,000, $11,000, or even possibly $10,000 if I come with the cash and show it in their face. They're like, okay, I'm gonna take the deal, all right? But the idea, guys, is there are always options. If you can't afford the car you want, guess what? We're not kids. What can I afford that makes financial sense for me in the future? That I could basically allow me to invest that money. Guess what? I bought a 10, 14-year-old car, but in 5 years, instead of having a car and no money, I'm going to have my vehicle still and $70,000. I rather that. So my rule is not the Dave Ramsey way, where you have, for example, well, half your annual income, pay cash for it. I would not be doing that if I'm broke. If I'm not financially stable, if I'm not financially free yet, what am I doing spending half my income, even if it's in cash, to buy something that's going to lose value? You cannot afford the hit. Because, by the way, when you buy these things, it's not like anything's wrong with it. You can buy a fancy car, that's fine if you can afford it. But it's not a good idea when you're broke and when you're not financially free. Because effectively what you're doing is having fun. And you buy a truck, 5 years is worth less, the money's gone. It basically just burns money. So you're better off waiting until you're able to take that damage, all right? So what do I do personally? I'm gonna buy the cheapest car I can afford to pay cash for right now. And if that's a $1,000 Toyota Corolla from the year 2000, I'm gonna buy that, all right? And then I'm gonna save some money over the next 6 months to 12 months, and I'm going to buy the most affordable vehicle I can afford to pay for in cash that's the most reliable. That way, I can use it for as long as possible. So let's say, for example, okay, I just got a job. I need a car to move around. I only have $2,000. I'm gonna grab my $2,000 and I'm gonna basically find a really good, reliable beater. All right, so I found me a beater, Toyota Corolla or Camry from the year 2000, 2002, 2005. Buy the car, have the car. I'm gonna drive that car around for 6 months to 12 months. Yes, it might give me a few problems here and there, but it's going to be a lot cheaper than $800 per month. I guarantee you that, okay? So now I'm gonna grab those savings that I would have been spending on the car payment every single month, grab those savings, save it up for 6 months or for 12 months, and then I'm gonna buy the next car, the most reliable vehicle I could probably afford, okay? So that might be, for example, hey, in 6 months, in 12 months, in 1 year, I was able to save up $10,000. What car can I afford for $10,000? Well, I can afford a Toyota Corolla 2010 or 2015 or whatever. Now I buy that car. I know that car can give me like 50, 75,000 or even 100,000 more miles than it has right now. I'm gonna ride that car until the wheels fall off or until I am financially free. Now, once I'm financially free and I have saved up, let's say like 30,000 or 40,000 and I wanna buy a fancy vehicle, I can buy it because I know I have my business taken care of. And by the way, one good thing to find out is that when you think about anime characters, which is like kind of weird in this video, but an anime character always has this goal, always has this dream, but there's always a bunch of work to actually get there. There's no, I'm just gonna borrow money and get it now. You don't see that, right? There's always hard work. So there is a road to actually get to your goal of having that dream car. So yes, I might not be able to afford right now currently like this whole Toyota Tacoma business because again, I have to figure out how I'm gonna buy a home. I have to figure out how I'm gonna provide for my family, and then I'm gonna probably I can buy this truck over and over again, honestly, right now, but it just doesn't make sense to have a fancy vehicle and have no home. To me, it just doesn't make sense. So I'm not gonna be interacting in this dream right now because again, I'm not a child. So that's how you kind of think about things. Think about things effectively and use rules of thumbs to actually help you, not to basically say, well, I have 30K, I make 60K, I'm gonna buy a 30K vehicle. Do you have investments to cover all your expenses? No. Do you have an emergency fund? No. Do you have debt? Yes. No. Maybe don't do that, okay? Thanks for watching though. Comment down below your dream car. Can you afford it? But comment down below 3 things, okay? This is actually pretty interesting. 3 things, okay? Find me a vehicle you can afford to pay for in cash right now that's reliable, okay? Not the best, but reliable. And then find me the vehicle that if you save up what you would be spending in car payments over the next 12 months and you bought that and it's reliable, what vehicle would that be, okay? And then third, tell me about your dream car. So for me, my dream car would probably be a Tacoma, TRD Pro right now. That beater car would probably be a Toyota 2010, whatever. And then that intermediate vehicle is the car we have right now, which is a Toyota 2017. That car has like around 140,000 miles, I think now. And I know we could probably get around another 80,000, maybe even more miles out of that. So that's another like 7, 8 years out of that car while we build up what we're trying to build up. But that's it, okay? Comment down below, let me know what you think and what those cars are for you. See you guys next time. Subscribe to the channel and peace.